So in this video, we will learn how to use the product rule to find the derivative, and this is the standard formula that you need to memorize when we have two functions called f and g. It is equal to f prime g plus fg prime, and let's do an example to understand this better. So let's say x cube times sine x. So here you can see that we have two functions multiplied by each other, and we can say that x cube is f and g here is sine x. So now the formula states you have to derive f first. So f prime g, so what is the derivative of f is going to be 3x2 multiplied by g, which is just going to be sine. So sine x plus, now f stays the same, so x cube times g prime, which is going to be cosine x, since the derivative of sine is cosine. And that's it. We can simplify this or we can leave it as this. So we can take x squared as a common factor over here, and this becomes 3 sine x plus x cosine x, since we just took x squared as a common factor between the two things over here. So this is another example. You can pause the video and try to do this yourself. So we can take anything as f and g, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to take this one as f and this one as g. You can take the other way around also. So now we need to use the formula, which is as written over here, f prime g plus fg prime. So f prime is going to be 2 plus 8 times 3 is going to be 24 x2, and g is going to stay the same, plus f now, so f is going to stay the same, 2x plus 8x cube times fg prime. G prime is going to be 2x, and now it's just the simplification. You can simplify this or leave it as this because it really doesn't matter. As long as you get the concept right, that is all that matters. So let's do some examples in trigonometry now. So you need to know all the derivatives of the common trigonometry functions as tan, sine, secant, squared, and what's the other one? Cot, costan. Yeah. So let's start here. So it's going to be f prime g. So what is the derivative of sine here? The derivative of sine is cosine. So the first part is going to be f prime, which is going to be negative 3 cosine x, and the second part stays the same, tan x plus f now is going to stay the same, negative 3 sine x, and g prime is going to be secant squared, since the derivative of tan is secant squared, and this is the final answer, and that's it. Now again, you can simplify this answer, and as we know, tan is sine over cosine, so let's write negative 3 cosine x into sine x over cosine x, and cosine can cancel out with cosine here, and we are left on this side with negative 3 sine x, and then secant squared is 1 over cosine squared x. So this cosine can cancel out with this one, and now we are left with negative 3 sine x minus, okay, no, we can't do that because this is multiplied by this. So what we can do here is we can factor out negative 3 sine x, and this will become now 1 plus 1 over cosine squared x. So in our next question, please pause the video and just think about this question. How are we going to solve this using the product rule? So here we need to apply the product rule to this equation, which is going to be 3x sine x and 3x squared times tan x. So we have to apply the product rule 2 times over here. So this 3x is going to be f, so we write here, and then g is going to be sine x, and over here we can take this as f 3x squared and g as tan x. So now let's start the process. So it's going to be f prime, which is going to be 3, and sine is going to stay the same, so sine x plus f prime f g prime, so it's going to be 3x cosine, since the derivative of sine is cosine, minus, now let's move on to this part now, so it's going to be f prime g, so 3x squared is going to become 6x, and tan is going to stay the same, plus f g prime, so 3x is x squared is going to stay the same, and the derivative of tan x is secant squared, so secant squared x, and now we can simplify this, so let's distribute the negative sign, so it's going to become the same, the first part is going to stay the same, so 3 sine x plus 3x cosine x minus 6x tan x, and then we distribute this minus sign over here, so it's going to become minus 3x squared secant squared x, and I don't think we can simplify or factor anything here, so this should be the final answer. We could factor a 3 outside, but it really doesn't make a difference, so yeah. So in our last example here, we have 3 functions, which is, we can say this is f, this is g, and this is h, and our normal formula only applies to 2 functions. And how do you think we should proceed with this question? So here is the formula product rule for 3 functions, where it is just simply deriving each and multiplying by the other 2 and doing the same thing and looping through. So f prime g h plus f g prime h plus f g h prime. So we just need to follow this and we are right to go. So let's do that here. So let's start. So it's going to be f prime g. So f prime is going to be, I'm going to write it over here, 2x, g and h are going to stay the same, so 6 plus 3x, and then 7x plus x cube, plus f is going to stay the same, so x squared minus 1, into g prime is going to be 3, since the derivative of 6 plus 3x is just 3, and h is going to stay the same, 7x plus x cube, and finally we are left with the last one here, so it's going to be fg prime. I'm going to write it over here, so it's going to be x squared minus 1, 6 plus 3x, and finally h prime is going to be, I don't know, write it here, 7 plus 3x2. And now we can just simplify this or leave it as this, it really doesn't matter. And yeah, this is the final answer. Now another type of question that you might be asked in the exam could be that they would give you f of, let's say, 2 is equal to 1, and f prime of 2 is equal to, let's say, negative 3, and g of 1, or sorry, 2 is going to be equal to 2, and g of 2 prime is equal to negative 1. And they might ask you what is the derivative of, let's say, fg prime. Or another format that they might give you is fg prime like this. So we know that the formula is right here, and the formula states that you need to do f prime g plus fg prime. So here we have the values, all we need to do is just multiply them and get the answer. So f prime here is negative 3, g is going to be over here, which is 2, times 2. And yes, I forgot to add that they also give you the value, so it's going to be f of 2 times g of 2, and same thing over here. Okay, so continuing on the formula, so now it's f g prime. So f is going to be 1 multiplied by g prime of 2, which is -1, and simplify this answer is going to be -6 minus 1, and the final answer would be -7. Now, as always, I have showed you a shortcut method for everything on the calculator, and there's one for this also. So any question with the derivative, first of all, you need a calculator which can solve the derivative on the calculator with a value for x. And if in the question you don't have a value for x, all you need to do is, I'm just going to give you the brief for now, and I'll make a short video on how to do it and showing you guys, because it will be more simpler. So let's say we just substitute x as 1, and in the final answer we can substitute 1, and whatever answer we got on the calculator over here, let's say 0.1, we should get the exact same answer from our answer. So that's a way to recheck your final answer and making sure that you didn't make any silly mistake. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.